What's going on, guys? Luke Del Priore here. Today, I am going to be showing you each and every single metric that we track inside of our marketing agency here at Del Priore Hospitality. If you don't know, you should know I'm one of the owners of a marketing agency, me and my brother. We have over 100 active clients that we serve. And if you're gonna run an agency as successful as ours, or maybe even one day more successful than ours, you need data. You need to know what's actually happening within your business day to day, month over month, week over week, year over year, and if you don't have data, you don't know, okay? So what is a KPI? A KPI, which is over here, is a key performance indicator, okay? It basically just shows you how well you're doing. It's a measure of data, okay? Your marketing agency is a big data machine. There's a lot of different things occurring inside of the business, and you want processes to track what metrics are coming in and out of the business on a given basis, okay? So if you want to scale, and you want to really scale to big numbers, hundreds of thousands a month, you need to track KPIs, because if you don't know how many appointments are booking, deals are closing, it gets very technical. But I'm going to show you today each and every single KPI that we track inside of our agency, okay? So there's a couple different metrics that we track. The first thing that we track, number one over here, is all of our sales metrics. The second thing that we track is all of our service metrics, okay, how well our clients are actually performing. And number three are like billing/accounting metrics, okay? So I'm gonna break these all down. So if you're running an agency or if you wanna start an agency, it doesn't matter what level you're at, this is everything that we look at for the most part, doing over $200,000 a month in sales, okay? It's over $50,000 a week. Quick math. These are the sales metrics, okay? First thing I want to know, how many appointments were actually booked for the entire month across our entire sales team, okay? So inside of our business, we have a team of guys that make cold calls. They're dialing the phone, trying to generate booked Zoom meetings with business owners. So I wanna know how many appointments booked that month. I also wanna know how many appointments booked per sales rep, okay? So we know which sales reps are outperforming the others. So I wanna know how many appointments were booked per rep, so I can incentivize the guys that are doing better by literally gifting them things like Rolexes. Just gifted one of our top sales guys a Rolex. I can also see how many appointments booked across the entire team, all right? The next thing that I want to know is, what is the show rate? How many people actually showed up to the meetings that we physically booked? If you book 200 sales calls a month, but only 50 people show up, you have a problem. And that's why when you have your data, you can say, okay, we're booking a lot of calls, but why are not a lot of people showing up? Is there an issue with my script? Is there an issue with my automations prior to the meeting? Is there an issue with something else going on internally that I need to fix? And again, this is why you need your metrics and you need your data. If you don't have these things, you ain't gonna know. The next thing I track is, obviously people then show up to their meeting. I wanna know, what's the conversion rate? The conversion rate on the actual sales call. So we have a team of closers that will sit down, that will try to actually close the deal off of the booked appointments that we have. So I wanna know, based off of, let's say, one of my closers taking 30 Zoom meetings in a given month, I wanna know how many of these actual meetings they can turn into a sale. Because once they turn it into a sale, our business has revenue. So let's say, for example, you take 30 meetings and you're able to close 6 sales. Give a nice even round number, okay? That's, top of my head, 20%. Okay, you're at a 20% conversion rate. So that's 20% of people actually paying. Now, I might think one of two things. Okay, if it's 20%, I wanna try to ramp this number up. How do we get the conversion rate on inbound to 30%? Because that'll make the business more money. Or, how can I get more people to show up so we could increase this number to 40? If we're at 40, if we stick with the same conversion rate, how many more sales will we generate? Okay, so it's another metric that we track. What's the actual conversion rate? Another metric that we track on the sales side, what is the speed to sale? If I take a meeting today, how fast is that person actually paying me? Are they paying me the same day I take my first discovery call? Are they paying me after 4 Zoom meetings because I wasn't able to close the sale on the first call? I wanna know how long it takes on average between the time that we first sit down with a prospect to them actually sending money to us. So that's another thing that we track. Speeding up your sales cycle as a business makes your business more money because you can take more calls. So speed to sale is another metric that we track. Also, an underrated one, upsells. When you have a customer base of 100 people, and this is another thing that, by the way, all these dickheads with school communities as their primary business aren't going to be able to do is when I look at my customer base of 100 plus legitimate business owners that trust me to do their marketing and they trust our team, I want to give you guys some figures right here, okay, before I keep going. We're going to come back to this. If you have a customer base of 100 people, okay, 100, and they like you, they know you, and they trust the service that you provide, okay, 100 people. If I come to them with something new that I've added to my agency as a service, and I say, we are now providing Google review management to help you guys increase your PR, HR, whatever you want to actually sell to them, that's going to give them benefit. Or now we provide social media management, or now we provide blah, 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 whatever the service is. If I sell my current customer base a $200 a month service, which is cheap for the majority of businesses, I just added $20,000 a month to my business. A month. One decision, and I add $20,000 a month if I could provide more value to the businesses that I'm already working with. Think about that. So what a lot of people are not doing inside their agency because they're lazy is they're not being innovative and they're not thinking of ways that they could actually help their customer and then further upsell them. So what we do is we upsell when we have more value to provide. So we track how many upsells we can generate on a given month as well, okay? So appointments booked per rep, show rate, conversion rate, speed to sale, upsells. These are all the metrics that we track for sales, okay? Now we get into service delivery. This is not my department. My brother heads our service delivery department. However, there are certain things that we track. Number one, speed to going live, okay? From the time that we actually onboard a customer, how long does it take to get their campaign live on Facebook, Instagram, search engine optimization, having the CRM fully rolled out? How quick can we get the client live? We're always trying to increase how fast this occurs. The faster you can get clients live, the more customers you can intake. So we track this. Lifetime value, okay, LTV. What is the actual lifetime value of your customer? How long are they actually staying with you? How long do your clients actually stay being your clients, right? You want to increase your LTV consistently. So this is a metric, lifetime value, that you want to go up. You want to increase the lifetime value of a customer, and you want to decrease your churn rate. The closer that your churn is to zero, the better you're doing. However, one thing that you'll learn in running an agency, can your churn rate ever actually be zero? Will there ever come a point where you're running your agency and you're never going to lose customers, okay? I'll tell you right now, the answer is no. The answer is no. You are always going to churn current customers. However, it is easier, in my opinion, to keep a customer if you have really good service than it is to sell a new one. Trying to decrease churn is the number one thing you should focus on before you look at anything in relation to the sales side of your business. A lot of new agency owners approach me, Luke, I'm having a hard time scaling. I'm having a hard time scaling. I'm having a hard time scaling. I can't get appointments to show up. I can't close my deals, blah, blah, blah. I say, fuck all that. I don't care about that right now. What's your churn rate? What's your retention rate? What's your lifetime value? They look at me like I have 10 heads. They don't even know. So you haven't even thought enough about the customer to know how long these people are staying with you, but you're nervy enough to tell me, oh, why aren't people sending me money? They're not sending you money because you radiate energy and frequency, and they know that your service fucking sucks. Our churn rate right now is less than 5% on services that we sell for over $2,000 a month. So what that means is that if I start the month with 100 customers, okay, hypothetically 4 people leave, my churn rate was 4%. That's how you measure churn. How many customers did you have at the beginning of the month? And then how many people left? Simple way to measure that for yourself. So churn rate's another metric to track. That's for service delivery, okay? So again, just so you guys know, this right here, this is where you build a successful business. Service. Sales is cute. Billing you can figure out. Operations. This is where you build a successful business, and then you can figure these things out, okay? Now, here are the metrics I track in billing and accounting. MRR. MRR is your monthly recurring revenue. I want to know exactly how much money I generated that month and how much money is monthly recurring. Net profit margin, okay? I want to know what my actual profit margins are inside the business, because if I hire 5 new people, but I didn't close many new customers on the sales side, my margins will go down. I want to keep the business running at a high profit margin so that I can create sustainability for the entire company. The lower the profit margin shrinks, the worse of the position you're in, okay? Also, I want to know, what bucket did my revenue go to? Okay, there's all different buckets that your revenue will go to. Sales commissions are something you need to pay. Software fees are something that you need to pay. Taxes are something that you need to pay. Contractor fees are something that you'll end up paying. There's all these different fees when you run an agency, so you also want to know, which bucket did all my revenue go to? For me, I want to make sure I'm not overextending in a certain area. Like, for example, did I overpay the IRS this month? Did I underpay my staff this month? Did I not invest enough money back into the business through remarketing the company? So I want to know all these things when I'm running my business. Another thing is, what was my cost to acquire a customer? You call that the COC. See that? You call it the COC. So you want to know, what was my cost to acquire a customer? How much money did I actually pay to turn that person into a customer for my business? The reason this is an important metric to know is because once you figure out your cost to acquire a customer and you figure out your lifetime value, this is where you can use simple math to make a shit ton of money. If you know, okay, your average customer is worth 20K in profit for the business, 20K net profit, because you have really good retention rate, and it costs you, let's say, $5,000 that you have to spend to go get that customer, you're in a really good position. And the thing that allows you to market your business efficiently, again, comes back to service. Because you have to think about it like this. If you're spending an arm and a leg to go get a client, but if you're spending $5,000 to get the client, and then your clients leave, and they only end up spending, so if you spend $5,000 to get the client, and then that customer is only worth $3,000 to your business because you lose them after a month, you just lost money. This is why having great service is the best, because you can consistently spend more and more money and you'll still be in the black. And that's where you want to be as a business owner, okay? Coming back here, another thing that we need to look at is, what was the actual revenue per customer per month, okay? So how much money came in off of that one singular account per month for all my customers? So what I'll do is, let's say, for example, come over here. Ooh, if I could fucking do this, whatever, we'll keep it over here. If I look at my entire customer base and there's 100 people, right? Over here, 100 people. And they pay me all different fees, because you'll have different tiers in your agency. You might have $1,000 a month, a $3,000 a month, a $4,000 a month. Let's say I have someone paying me $1,000 a month, another person paying me $1,500, another person paying me $1,800, and another person paying me $2,000. I'm gonna add $2,000 plus $1,800 plus $1,500 plus $1,000. I'm gonna get that number, and then I'm gonna divide it by 4, because that's how many customers I have. That'll give me my average of what that customer is spending on a monthly basis within my company. It's another metric that you need to know, and you should constantly be trying to get that number up, because that will increase your bottom line revenue. Guys, those are all the metrics that I track inside of my marketing agency currently. These are the things that have enabled us to genuinely scale to the heights that we've been at. If you don't have data inside of your business, you are not going to be able to scale. So if you're looking to run a marketing agency, if you already own a marketing agency, and if you want access to our key performance indicators, go ahead, tap the link below and book a call with themodernscam.com. It is our private coaching community where we help people specifically that are looking to run a marketing agency or already run a marketing agency. And we are giving away our multi-million-dollar blueprint on how to get clients, keep them, how to actually hire, how to onboard, how to manage your staff. The whole 9 yards we have fully released inside of a program where you get weekly Zoom meetings, constant support, one-on-one support. So if that sounds like it's of interest to you, tap the link below, book a call with our team, and we will see if you are a good fit for our mentorship. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Now go work.